Hello, welcome to Heart Explained Therapy, and now I'm going to try to tell you how you can get your purpose in 10 minutes. And there's something that I need to break down before we get to that stage, but by the end of it you will know exactly what you have to do in your life, and you can go out and aim for it. Now, first of all, getting a purpose is very important, because the way that the human is made, the way that we operate, is that we function on a motivated system to accomplish tasks throughout the day. You wake up and you get out of bed. Even the most depressed human being eventually gets out of bed. This is why people aren't just bedridden all day. There's a purpose, there's something that basically stimulates the brain, and usually based on a tactic to feel comfortable. Now, when it comes to getting your purpose, which is an important thing in life, no matter what age you are, this is what normally happens, and this is the procedure of somebody getting a purpose. They have a vague idea of what they want to do. They aim for it, and they realise that about 10 boundaries come in the way. So when someone sets a goal or a dream, they will have a boundary like money, financial reasons are stopping them achieving this dream. They want their own business, but they can't. They haven't got good credit. They can't go to the bank for a loan, so they can't do this really great idea. So then they give up. Or you might want to live abroad and you can't get the visa. You need money for the visa, or you don't know how to apply for a visa, or you don't know how you can move and locate somewhere and get work at the same time. So you give up. The brain gives you problems, logical, rational things you have to do. And the first 95% of the population just say they can't do it. And this is where there's a lot of stuff out now about mindsets, changing your mind, rewiring the brain to be able to do this set of procedures before your goal appears. Now, unfortunately, I think the whole process is actually very stressful. It actually brings up a lot of emotions. It actually brings up a lot of your fears, and you've got to have, this is a skill to achieve a goal in anything. It takes you to acquire a skill, and if you haven't got it, you're going to be stuck for the next 10 or 20 years dreaming about things but never really knowing how to go and get those goals. Now, I think the best way for you to achieve any goal, and even if you don't know your purpose at this point, it's absolutely fine. The best way to achieve anything in life is if you do it in a mindset where you're comfortable, where you're content with your current situation. You see, I think that sometimes there can be driving factors like rags to riches stories. You can see that somebody's been poor as a child and now they're a millionaire. And I think with that dynamic, you can be quite egoic in the end point. You can do it all for vanity, all for some sort of significance, and you can kind of forget about the rest of the world and anybody else. You can say that I've done this and I've achieved something great, but my family and friends don't care, so screw them. I don't care. I've made it now. So I think there's a whole world of pain from getting this purpose, and there's a whole world of pain that comes with the boundaries that you don't know how to tackle. So I think we need to sort of start in a place where we're already content, where your current life is actually somebody else's dream, and you're thinking your current life is bad and you want somebody else's life, and that's your dream. And I think this is the problem of purpose. You want significance, you want meaning, but you're in a place where you're not happy and you're looking outwards for that. So, to get the purpose, I think you need to realise how life works. Now let's just pretend you really want to know purpose because you think your life will be better. Let's pretend you think of one. You think of one that you want to be a vet, and at the moment you're working in Sainsbury's and you don't want to, you want to be a vet because you've always loved animals, but you can't stop what you're doing and go and get the qualification. You can't, you fear the change of roles and you're not sure whether that's what you want to do. If you don't try and do something, you'll never know the outcomes. You'll never know what the experience will be. And the strange thing is, you think you're in some sort of control of that, and you actually stay in a place where you feel comfortable, and unconsciously you're uncomfortable. So you're kind of stuck in this paradox of life. Now this is quite important to understand because it's highlighting an amazing thing that happens in life. You see, life isn't this perfect sort of route where you always perfectly go to somewhere that was meant to be the journey, it was meant to be the end. It's not sort of like a train journey where you get on at one stop and you go right to the end and then it's achievable. You see, life works a little bit like this. You're just a pinball in a machine, bouncing around from one place to the other, unconsciously and consciously, reacting on emotions and sometimes doing the right things at the right time. When you can clear your head of all the purpose and all the desires and all the attachments, you can actually you can see that you can make better decisions and go in the right direction more than being reactive and being this pinball. And the great thing is about a purpose and a dream, you can start off wanting to be a vet. You can get right up to the point where you're about to start your first day as a vet in the place, and then someone will say, do you want to take over my business? And you can completely change because it's something that you wanted to do more than the vet, but you've never had the opportunity. Now this is something interesting to know because it means that you don't have to just think there's one step and there's 10 sort of boundaries towards it. You see, with this pinball sort of effect that life seems to just be, it means that deciding on your purpose is absolutely irrelevant. Just pick anything. You can start off by saying an astronaut, or you can start off by saying promotion at work. The purpose can be anything, and life will change. And once you stop thinking that your life's bad and somebody else's life is better, or you're going to gain something by more finances or a better job or a well-respected job or a different climate in a different country, once you get content with where you are, and that becomes like a very happy place, a place that just brings you lots of joy, and you wake up every day like you're already living your dream, then this is when you for the first time ever, you don't care about consequences. And that's why things seem to happen so much more easier. You make the right decisions because you're no longer reacting based on an emotion. You're already happy, you've already got your dream. So an interview is no longer scary. A promotion is no longer something to be fearful of. Now this is crucial. I would like to say that what your purpose should be is almost the opposite. Everything that you do at the moment is, in a way, negative to your purpose in life. Your purpose can be anything. It doesn't have to be being miserable in your current circumstances That's not a good purpose, and that's what is happening. It doesn't have to be negative behaviour with other people. You don't have to be unhappy and put all this unhappiness onto other people in work. You can actually beam and be full of joy, completely content with where you're at, knowing it's a temporary process. The pinball is resting and it's jingling around this one part of it and you're getting 5 points, and the next minute you could be thrown into the 1,000-point jackpot where everything lights up, and it's always this one step away. And it's all about this power of perspective, to acknowledge that you've already got everything you want. You don't have to put anything fake on your social media. You don't have to pretend that showing off your brand new Mercedes, which is really shiny, means anything, because it doesn't really represent feelings. It doesn't represent the love that you have for yourself. It's vanity, it's egoic. What is important is you being content with your current circumstances, and then when you pick your purpose, remember it's going to change, because that's what life does. Life is always changing. Sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's a snowstorm, you're stuck, your tyre's flat, the worst case scenario happens. Accept all this madness, and this will make you realise that as long as you do positive movement when you can, completely content with where you're at, the world is achievable. It does. You can open your eyes to the bigger picture, and I think that should be your purpose, to let go of any sort of path that you think makes sense, and accept that, first of all, I've got to be happy in this environment. If I want this different environment to happen, and I've never known or experienced it, I've first got to get used to this one. I've got to accept my life in this place, and it's okay to be whatever you are, wherever you're at. The respect from other people starts with you respecting yourself. The significance that you put on the world based on your job or your social network or whatever, it starts within you, saying that you are a role model to everybody else, because you show them one thing, and that is you are content, you are giving, you are trying your hardest to bounce into this 1,000 lucky little light thing in a pinball machine. And in a way, you're always going to get there, but there's a way of getting there through suffering, and that's what makes you miserable, and that's what makes you snappy when you're coming from work, and that's what makes you tired, and that's what makes you wake up and think, oh God, another day. Or there's a one where you jump out of bed and think this is going to be 24 hours where you're closer to your projected dream, because you know what, you're already in it, you're always living it, you're already loving it, and you accept that your car moves just like that big 4x4 shiny Mercedes car, or your bike, or the bus journey. I think we have this tendency now to look out, and we see these videos where people are drinking these milkshakes all the time, and they have the protein shakes on the balcony, and they're doing a workout, and all that is just like, God, is that what it takes to achieve happiness? No, it's not. There's a happiness emotion that can go off in you at any time you choose to allow yourself to feel it. It's not something that happens from here and it gets touched and plugged into you and then you feel it. It's within you, waiting to come out. And we're too lost in this chasing for tomorrow, when we're not enjoying today. And then tomorrow comes and we do the same thing over and over again. Your purpose needs to be anything. Pick it, aim for it. Whatever comes in your way, tackle it. But tackle it in a place where you've got no, sort of difficult energies blocking you. Just let it all go. Just be at peace. Whatever it takes for you to do it, whatever little rituals you need to do it. And feel enjoyment and feel like you've got the most dream life that anybody could ever wish for. Now, when you can do that in the worst case scenarios, you've already made it. You are already that higher God that you actually look out and think, I need to get to. You're already that. It's in your behaviour. You'll speak to people differently. And some people are going to hate you for this, and some people are going to be horrible because you are this different person now. And all you need to do is kill them with kindness. Accept that they are in this place where they can't see that for once you're just content and happy. You're focused, you're energetic, you've lost all these shackles. And I think this is the way that you get your purpose in life. You lose all the baggage that is tied with it. And I hope that helps, because you don't need to achieve anything. You never actually have to do anything. You just need to do good things for your well-being, good things for yourself. And once you do that, you'll instantly do it for everybody else. And you'll get more reward. You'll feel better. And then you just keep going. And before you know it, 1 year, 2 years down the line, you're living that dream life, and you've never really got high or happy from it because you was already there. The big mansion now is just the same as the house that you lived where you didn't have anything. You had damp, you had mould, you couldn't put £5 together, you know what I mean? And now you've got £500 spare because you've finally learnt that all the attachment to desires was what was causing the problem. It was causing you to have this fog. I hope that makes sense.